Just checking my microphone. Give me a second. Okay, let's get to it. Oh, I'm tired. Damn, what a day yesterday. It was exhausting. That's why I don't try to play FOMC. Got some moves in, but it was like 6 out of 10 wins, probably. Not ideal. I swung some micron puts from George that are going to be nice and green when I open. NVIDIA puts, if anyone swung them with me, they're in the money. We had 180 for tomorrow. AMD, I think there's still more downside. But let's see what happens here. I still have that put open. I do think it's going to come down towards that area sooner rather than later. So I'll kind of watch it and see how it goes. Gotta meet someone 1 second. I don't know who else is talking. QQQ, let's go look at that. And then we'll go look at SPY and other stuff. And let me just turn the music down a little bit. Okay, put wall is 590 on Qs, so I do think you're getting a relief bounce here today, just because market makers are trying to get out of that position. So probably goes towards 595 and then kind of comes back down. I'd be interested in getting more calls if we clear 600 for some reason. I don't think we will, but that's where your call wall is. And then this is where I think it'll fly. But you're holding the put wall on both the S&P 500 and the Qs, and I think IWM is literally the same story. If I look at that, what is the put wall? Let's go find out from George that I don't remember for IWM. 1 second. IWM, your put wall is 240, huh? Okay, so you're bouncing right there. That's your bounce spot, and then your call wall is at 250. So unless there's some magic world piece or something, I don't see, like outside of scalps, like maybe we can scalp some calls right at open and get towards the upper side and then kind of dump back down and play the reversal. I'm not interested in deploying like thousands of dollars on calls right now because I just don't think that makes any sense. On SPY, I'm kind of got the same story. You're holding the put wall here at 660, or you were at least this morning pre-market, and now we're kind of rejecting there. And then dealers were positioned towards the downside at 645, I believe. That might still be the case. Right now, market makers have not let go of that 660 level, so you got $7 billion on that 660. So does it go up towards 660 and then kind of reject from there? It's most likely, honestly, like this is where I'm going to be watching for a reversal. But I do think we can scalp some calls in the morning, maybe like 10, 20, 30%, and then kind of come back down towards that 650, 645 range. And I say 645 is because that's where market makers were originally positioned on themselves. Let me find that screenshot so you can all see it. 645. Here we go. Let's make this full screen. Wow, Discord sucks. Okay, so this is what I was seeing this morning. Pin magnet at 645, and then your path was to go towards 648.58. I don't know if we get that. There was quite a bit of capital there, $6.2 billion this morning pre-market, but that might change as time goes. Right now, for what it's worth, 660 is still lit up. You got $7 billion there. You're accelerating towards that, so I'm biased towards buying calls currently. And I'll buy some puts if we see a rejection at 660, 661, maybe that area. And I'll get towards 650 calls, or 650 puts, sorry, for the end of the trading session. So that's what I'm seeing on SPY. We just did a quick review on QQQ and IWM. Let's go through that again for anyone new that's joined. On QQQ, 590 is the put wall. So break below that, you're going towards 582. And if you close above 590, you're going to likely tap the 595.44 area before you reverse down, or if you go up after that, if we get some crazy world peace news, which I don't think we will. So that's QQQ. IWM, 240 is a put wall. We're still bouncing around that zone. Does it go up towards 250, 245, and then rejects? No idea, but we'll see we'll see where that goes. And everyone should know this already, but all the levels are there on the homepage for George. Call wall is at 667. Put wall right now moved down to 649. On IWM, call wall is 250. Put wall is 240. QQQ, put wall is at 582, and call wall is at 600. So those are your ranges to watch. And then you can have multiple walls. It's not just the one. These are just the most pertinent ones for today's trading session. So that's what I'm seeing. Risk is off. We can see that everything, including gold, that's dumped. If I look at the GC chart, the futures here, like that's just a clear rejection. And this is a level that I drew at 5,042 like a couple months ago, and like we just never closed above it. So I knew we were gonna come back down towards this area because there's nothing here. I go far back and like there's one level here, but that's about it. And we ended up undercutting that and going towards the lower lows here. So honestly, swinging puts, you're in that environment at this point in time. So maybe I'll take some plays on swinging some puts for a couple of weeks out, a couple of months out. Luckily, I do have a 650 put hedge that I bought like a month or two ago for April. That's going to be nice and green, but everyone is swinging puts. So those are expensive contracts. And I think the value on that has degraded over time. I did swing these Micron puts from George. I don't really swing puts that much, but this is one of those things where I wanted to see what happens. So they were $1,800 per contract when I got them, right? So this was a couple days ago for Friday expiry. I think I got them on Tuesday. And then earnings yesterday. Earnings were great. I mean, we still dumped on that because people are like, just get me the hell out of this position. And I think you're going to come back to your anchored VWAP area at 411.49 before deciding to go up or maybe continue going down towards the bottom range here. But those are going to be nice and green at open. That's like a nice, I don't know, $1,000, $2,000 move right there. Yeah, they were expensive, but it is what it is. We did have some TSM calls. The reality is because of what's happening with Iran and the geopolitical landscape, oil is getting more expensive. So transporting semiconductors or money's moving outside of semiconductors and into like the US dollar or maybe other places. So every other stock in the world, including ARM, TSM, AMD, NVIDIA, basically everything except for maybe Apple is going to continue dumping on that news. So risk is off, definitely. And that's how we're seeing that move down on TSM. The calls were profitable for a little bit, but you know, that's what it is. We can't control the news or what happens. And I think George changed his stand to become bearish yesterday, even before the news hit. So if I look at his swings, and let's just make this full screen once again. You know, he was saying puts on basically everything since yesterday, and this will get regenerated in about 10 minutes, but you know, he's been thinking about this for a couple hours at this point in time or since yesterday. I do like some calls, but for the most part, where, you know, risk is off and you can now swing puts for basically every single tech ticker in the world. Oxy calls probably make sense. USO calls probably make sense. Interestingly enough, Microsoft calls, but I don't know what's going to happen there. I don't really want to touch it right now. And it has lower confidence than 100. And I just like the high confidence plays. Right now, they're all basically puts, except for some Tesla shorts. That's really what I'm seeing there. And we'll see how this opens up in 3 minutes. But I'd be very hesitant to buy puts right here, knowing that we're going to come back likely towards 660. And then we can just go verify how this will move right at open. But right now, the GAM exposure is trending towards the upside at 660. This is now 675. I don't think we get there, but you know, we'll see how that goes. And I'll show you the MOO contract afterwards. We'll see what George opens up. And let's see if there's any questions or comments in the chat. Yeah, it's an easy trade. That's why I don't know if it's gonna work. There's too many people are looking into that now. Coin is probably dead. Master's probably dead. I was saying circle shorts yesterday. I took a play on that, and it's in the money already. Remember, I was saying the 128p. It's in the money there. Yeah, let's just watch the first 15. I don't really want to rush into anything. I want to see what happens here. If we reject at 660, then I'll come back down. Or if we close above 657, maybe even 659, then I'll get some calls towards 663. So that's really what I'm thinking about. Yeah, maybe. We'll see how that goes. We did take some USO calls yesterday. They were like $38 when we got them, and they ran to $109 or something like that. Timmy took Boyle play. I don't play Boyle. Like, I just had a bad experience with it, not getting filled. I did take a small position in like 2 contracts or something. At this Boyle 12 calls for next week, I believe. I can't remember where I put it. Boyle. Boyle calls. What did he do? I can't remember now. I think there were 12 calls. Hold on, let me just check.
I think you're thinking about UNG if you're saying 12, because Boyle's like...
Oh, sorry, there were 20 calls for next week. And I was like, dude, you're going to be in the money by like Friday already. So I think that's what it is. Almost at 20. You're basically at 20 at this point in time. So yeah, I think they're going to be nice and green when he opens up there. All right, just to show people what the hell I did for the Micron. It was $1,800 per contract, right? On the Micron 455p. They're at $3,600 now. So I'm going to sell it because why not? Oklo and ARM were up 40%. Out my 1X MU 455p 1800 to 3570 per con. Look at that. That is a crazy play. Okay, you're now going towards 650. Do I want to chase puts here? I don't know. They're really expensive too. Let's go to the 0 to $100. I do think calls are the better risk and reward at 660, but we'll watch the first 15 and see where that goes. And I think I was saying circle puts yesterday. Those are in the money. If anyone took them with me, the 128Ps, they're up nice and big, but I'm gonna hold them till tomorrow and see what happens. But nicely done, George. Nicely done on that gain, on that play. He didn't know that Micron's going to have earnings. He just called it.
By the way, folks, first, good morning. And in addition to what Chavs is doing, feel free to trim a little bit of oil there. Getting a nice 48 to 50% return, or 40-ish.
I like it. Nicely done, Timmy. I'll show you what I do on my main account when I'm just like opening up like this. I just buy 2 contracts, for example, like as a starter. So I got 2 660 plays, right? Because we saw this change. And then, oh shit, I don't know if it filled or not. Let's see. Maybe it did. But those premiums started rising, so I was, oh fuck, it's not gonna fell. It just rose so fast. When you see premium starts like that, like it went from 127 to 153, you know it's gonna be a huge bounce here. I don't know if my limit buy will sell or fill, sorry. But as soon as the gamma exposure changed and you saw that go from short the pops, see this is how market makers do this, right? They're repositioning right now. So we'll see how that goes. But if my limit buy does go through, I'm going to take the win at like 10, 20% and just call it a day. All right, they filled out 127, great. And then I'm going to try to sell these at like a 10, 20% gain. And if it goes down, I'll kind of buy more. But I'm trying to sell these at probably like 160, $200 maybe. And then I'll kind of just leave it at that. I'll try to sell 2 of these. Get a $400 gain right there. And if it goes down, I'll try to get more. But whenever those premiums increase like that, like I know it's going to be at least a short-term rally because you're bouncing up towards the put wall here. And let's see what Qs are doing while I'm at it. Yeah, I think they're trying to get it above and over the put wall at 590 so they can stop losing money as market makers. TSM will continue to drop. Same with ARM, same with Oklo and every other stock in the world. Apple is holding strong, oddly enough. It's probably because it's a boomer stock and people are like, oh, just get me in or leave me here. I'm going to have decent dividends too. And page chat, let's see what is going on. Nicely done, Timmy. Nicely done. Nicely done. 370%. Wow. Poopy, were these all from George? Because GG if you did. Let's see what institutions are doing. 656, maybe. I don't think we'll get there just yet. And the volume is pretty light. We're still in this range here, so I'm going to see what happens. Whoa. Boopy's making money here from George. Nice. I'm going to keep watching the first 10 more minutes, 10 more minutes, and then I'll decide what I want to do. If the 645 strike is lit up, which I think it is now, I might be able to just get some puts here. Whoa, these are actually really cheap at 25 bucks. I don't know, I'm going to wait a couple of minutes and see what happens. This looks oversold as hell to me, so I don't want to rush into any puts just yet. I might scale more in these calls because this keeps going up towards 660, 31.6 bill. We saw that go up from 7 billion this morning to like 31. So I do think it's a bounce towards this for the time being. And one thing I also want to say, yes, I will show everyone this because nice work, Easy. Easy push up the situation room. So it's available for everyone on the paid plan. This has a lot of data from Wall Street Bets, StockTwits, institutional flow as well. Any news that's coming in. And then I also put a summary here of things that are happening. And this gets updated in real time. So enjoy it. It should be fun. And meanwhile, I'll just go back to the Gamma page and see if George has taken any plays, which I don't think he has. He's waiting for an entry here, which I like. Just be patient, get the right one. And you're still leaning towards the upside here with $31.6 billion on 660. So if some world-changing news hits or there's more attacks or something, I don't know. Like it might nuke, but for the time being, I like how this is positioned. Call to the better risk and reward. And once again, trading is a game about probabilities. You're not going to be right 100% of the time. You just got to be right more than you are wrong. The one thing that's giving me confidence right now in the calls is like we're not breaking the 655 level or 655.31 level. So I do think you're in for a bounce up or move up. But we'll watch another 10 minutes and we'll decide to take a call or a put. I just realized I got those calls in my starter account, not my main one. Oops, wrong one, but it is what it is. Oh, if anyone did swing the NVIDIA puts, they're in the money. Let's go find out what they're worth and what I got them at. Let's go see what AMD is like as well. I know people were freaking out yesterday because those were red for a little bit. Not by much, but enough. Let's go see. Okay. NVDA. NVIDIA 180p in the money, 140 per con to 420 per con. If anyone held, that's a 300% gain. AMD 190p, almost in the money. 100 per con to, what is it now? 167 per con. Take the win. I knew George was right on those AMD and NVIDIA puts, by the way. He was just early by like 10 minutes. But take the win here because I do think you're setting up for a bounce. So please just get the hell out. You're up like 300% there, 67% there. Just take the win. Take the win, please. Take the win. It's got to be the easiest 400 bucks I ever made. Okay, there's your bid here. There's your bid there. There's your bid there. And I do think this is about to roll up. So I'd be exiting all my puts at this point in time, to be honest. And let's go back to SPY.
Just to alert everybody to something too. I know you guys, I made that little write-up on Logitech in the middle of the night, and then I just decided to pick up some shares anyway. Never went red, even with the dump. It's holding, it's up this morning. So I don't know if it's people retreating into it because they remember having controllers on their computer when they were kids or something like that. But I mean, it's up $1 a share, even on this massive, I don't even know what to call it, shit show of a fucking morning.
Yeah, this is great. This is a nice cup and handle. Look at that. Yeah, this looks pretty good on shares, options, whatever you want to play on that. But nicely called. Okay, there's your move up. Do we have volume though? That's the thing that's worrying me. 10 million is better than the 4 that we had yesterday, so I'm happy with that. Buy the dips towards 660. Okay, that's what I'll be looking at getting out of my calls. And they just started the buy algo, I think, but nothing's coming in right now. Like 4 minutes between updates. They're probably waiting for something. I don't know what it is. I remember how it's showing people like the implied volatility for today was higher for some reason than yesterday. And then we got like all of a sudden after hours that there was going to be an 8 a.m. talk on the Iran situation. And that's probably why the implied volatility was higher early this morning. And from yesterday, we saw that like spike up. So I guess someone knew that there's going to be news or some event happening. We all got to listen to George more. It's not just you, it's also me. The thing is with George, like he's often right. He's just early, especially on zero dated options. So just wait like a couple minutes and see what happens. He was calling these swing plays that Poopy took. He took them yesterday and they're all green or in the money even for some. Okay, calls are holding. So I'm optimistic we got to move up here pretty soon. Okay, see that 10% move? I want to see this pump pretty soon. So the 945 candle will tell us what it wants to do.
I think I spotted another USO play potentially to take.
What did you spot?
Well, I'm adding this to the watch list. This is it is USO 140 calls for March 27th. Currently at 239 a bid.
What did you say? 120, 130 Cs?
140.
Ah, I like that.
Pretty decent open interest on it as well.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
It's on the watch list.
I might get 2 of these, or maybe 3 of these. I'll try to get them at $200, or maybe even like cheaper at 1.85. Let's see that goes through.
It's a good hedge.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna put. Taking a hedge. Limit by USO 3/27 140C at 185 per con if it fills. I like these limit buys just so everyone knows. Like I try to get them at a discount if I can, because most often what happens is people will dump the market, right? So like here's what I'm seeing on USO. Somewhat of a head and shoulder pattern. So it probably goes down towards this level, just gets a bunch of people bear trapped, then it goes up. And this is where most likely my order will fill, right? And so I try to get everything at a discount if I possibly can. So that's how I play it. You might as well learn from me. I made the mistake of buying market buys quite often, and I just don't do that anymore. What did Palantir do? Let's go see. Oh yeah. I do think it has more room to run. We just got to see a clear breakaway above 156, 176, and I think you fly towards, I'll see 170 pretty quick. Yeah, there's the volume on SPX. I just don't see it on SPY for some reason.
By the way, Princess was asking, what did George say?
Poopy got all of the George's swings for some reason. Anything with 100% confidence, he just got them all. And they went up really nice for him. Like he got gold puts, silver puts. I think he got like carry puts or HL puts or something, and then they're all up nice for him. So
Gonna have to start charging poop. Gonna have to start charging poopy attacks soon.
I know, right? Hopefully you all took the AMD and NVIDIA puts with me. They are up nice. Please take the win. They're up 300% for NVIDIA. AMD, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to keep mine and see if it goes to 0. Okay, this is the double tap. So this is what I think is going to happen. You're going to tap this area and then go up towards 659. I still have this open. I'm going to leave this open. I got 4 contracts. I have a limit sell for 2 of them at 200, and I'll sell the other 2 at maybe like 240 or something, or 230, 220 maybe. And we'll see if that fills. And again, it's risk and reward. We just got to be positioned the right way, because if I chase puts there, I knew I was going to get smoked.
By the way, folks, since March, we've held EQ&R. If you want to start taking your first trims on that, you can. EQ&R is currently over $48, which was one of my first thresholds.
Nicely done. So since 3/4/2026, let's go look at that EQ&R. And let's look at this on a daily. We started that position, or I started that position March 4, right? And that was right here. So March 4. Since then, we're up about 30% on the commons. That's pretty good for a matter of like, what is it, 2-3 weeks? That's insane. Okay, there's the green candle on NVIDIA. That's what I was saying. Like, I think you got to scale out of those puts right there, because I knew that was coming.
Fighter is saying Apple is going, which bodes well.
It does bode well. It's also a flight to safety with Apple. But the thing is, like, it's in between 2 zones for me, so I don't play it. When it's right in the middle, like dead in the middle, like it could go either way, so I'm not going to touch it. Where it's at the top, I know it's going to go back down. If it's at the bottom, I know more likely than not it's going to go back up. So I don't want to touch anything there just yet. And let's see what the institutions are doing. Amazon, they're buying. Microsoft, they're selling. And I don't think George has opened anything. GS calls, interesting. Huh. Why would they be buying Goldman Sachs calls? Unless there's some news coming out. Hold on, I gotta check this. Give me a sec. Nope, I don't see it there. Unless it just came in and he hasn't processed it yet. Nope, I don't see anything there.
Even on USO right now, which I've been watching for an inverse opportunity, volume on there is still light.
Wasn't I saying this to me yesterday? I was like, I feel like it's going to roll over right here.
Yeah, we were saying that. But the other thing is that the technical analysis does matter, but at the same time, it's macro driven. So if you get a headline, that can heavily influence things. So yes, it does seem like that. But again, headlines matter.
True. Honestly, I'm shocked about this Micron put play from George. Can't believe that was a solid roll. Friggin' 1800 to 3570 per con. That's crazy. That's the biggest gain I've ever had for one single contract.
Well, now you can go use those gains to go get a McDouble with Poopy.
Yeah, if his wife lets him. Okay, I'm just watching this one. I want to see what happens here. Why is it doing this? I don't like this new layout that this broker has.
Oh, and by the way, folks, we did have some Planet Lab earnings tomorrow. We were holding those. I think Shabs had trimmed out of a few.
I only have 2
wait,
left.
that's today.
Yeah, it's today.
Oh, wait. Blah.
327.
Yeah, that's this evening.
Yeah.
We have FedEx also.
I think I only have 2 left. But what I did here, because I have a shit ton of commons as well, I'm going to sell every single stock that I own or with options that I own because I'd rather just take the win and avoid any headline risk here. So I'm likely looking at getting out of this, the 2 runners that I have pretty soon here. Okay, we're up 10% on these calls. If anyone got the SPY calls with me, please just take the win at 10%. I can't stress this enough. We have a lot of headline risk or potential headline risk. I'd rather you take the win and be green than be stuck with like a dead trade. And let the chat know when you sell so we can watch it pump by like 20, 30% extra. Yeah, it's at 660 calls. They're up 20% or 15% here. I'm going to applaud myself on that one. Okay. I'm going to see if these go to $200 here. I was saying this morning. Like you should exit those puts for NVIDIA, like right there, the first 15-minute bar, because like I knew this pump was coming. You're below the put wall on every single asset. They're losing money at this point in time. Take the win at 21% here. If you got the SPY calls with me, take the win at 20% on SPY 660C at here. This one had a bit of a drawdown. I'm kind of upset. I should have put it at a further discount than I got it at, but whatever. It is what it is. I guess that gamma exposure page was right. Hey, buy the dip towards 660. Cool. Look at that. It worked.
Wait, Poopy made $12,000?
Yeah, but he also risked like a shit ton of money, so.
That's true.
It's all good. I know this was the same for you, Tammy. It is the same for me. It's the same for Poopy. Like we make more money trading than we did in our day jobs.
That is correct, with less stress most times.
Most times, yes.
I say most times because, folks, I'm not sure if you know what I've been doing, but currently studying Jovian moons, and unless you have a background in that, it throws you for a loop.
Really does.
All right, folks, let's see here. Overall, a good day across the board. George, you're doing well. You know, the other interesting aspect right now is, besides Circle, Bitcoin right now is actually, at least when I'm looking at it, surprisingly holding up to, was surprising holding up. Okay, ignore that comment. Oh yeah, Sean, yeah. That's what I was thinking as well. It does want 70,000. So I'm thinking as a potential swing over the weekend, we may look to do IBIT again like we did last time.
I like that.
It paid well. Hey, I like it as well. And the thing is, your cons are cheaper than the indexes, and it's easier to check on.
Mm-hmm. I got more of them too.
Exactly.
I do think this is about to fly, just so everyone knows. The way that I'm seeing this is like go up towards right here, 663.51. Huh. Interesting. Wait, am I gonna get 100% here? Hold on.
After that, we do have some questions we want to address. Let's see, Sean, you're talking about Irene Commons. Yep, that Irene is a great stock. The Bitcoin and data centers, smart move in their eyes. Hawkeye asks, then we can address this afterwards. I'm about to buy a January 2028 leap for a strike on silver 50. Hawkeye, I assume you're talking about silver there. Is that correct? Or Irene?
I think he's saying silver.
Silver. All right. Thank you.
Let's go look.
You want to buy a... Nope. Okay.
Okay.
Let's finish reading the rest of that. He wants to buy... Oh, you're Sin?
Yeah, I can do a recap. So let's go look at the levels, right? Let's just use technical analysis and then we can plug this into George afterwards and see what he thinks. But let's go find where this layers of liquidity and support, right? So we have resistance or support here. We have some layer of liquidity here. We also have a gap down there. So I don't know what's going to happen. And then you have this zone here that we got to clear. So hold on, stream gum. I got to take that out. Okay. I do like how silver's setting up here for longer dated calls. So the way that I'm thinking about this is you want to be as close to the money as possible. You're saying in the money at 58. I think that's probably the right call. But what I like instead, because you're at this double bottom in this discount zone, right? This is discount because that's where this explosive move came up from. This is where I got defended, right? And went up. And this is now another zone of defense, right? So if I were you, this is what I'd be doing. I'd be looking at silver, looking at the options, going to April, let's say 10th or the 20th. Let's go look at every single day and see which one has high open interest. That's close to the money right now at 62. So nothing here has high open interest. The 70 calls actually probably make the most sense, to be honest. And then I look at April 10th. Let's see if there's anything with high open interest. Nothing. 73, maybe not worth it. 65 here has a lot of open interest. That is suspicious to me. So if I were you, I would be doing this. Silver, April 17th, 65C at 360 per con, or limit buy lower. Better RR with 23,174 OI, right? So we use layers of confluence here. We got levels locked down, right? We know where there's potential support. We know that this is the area that created this explosive move up. You defended it once, you defended it once, you defended it once here, and you're more likely than not, and again, trading is a game of probabilities, you're more likely than not to go up towards the 77, 82, and the 90 area, right? Because that's where this rejection happened. So the risk and reward for me personally, especially with this given open interest for the 65 strike for April 17th, in 29 days, this is suspicious. This to me is a good risk and reward. If you're spending that much money, you might as well get the one with the highest open interest here and the highest volume. Make sense? I'm actually going to do the same thing. So I'm going to take this, take a hedge. And let's go see if there's any other high open interest ones. Nope. 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 Actually, the 65 strike on May 15th has it as well. Nothing there except for 65. And June 65 should also be lit. Yeah, the April 17th, honestly, is like the best bang for your buck right now with the highest open interest so far that we've seen. And the most amount of volume. So I like that. I like the risk and reward there personally. Let's see if there's anything for one day. 54,000 for the 65 strike for tomorrow. Well, honestly, that could be a good bang for your buck too. If you want to take a look at silver calls for tomorrow. Yo, this Island Dog guy makes a lot of money. But I wonder if he's risking a lot too. Okay, if we don't get a move up to 659 in the next like minute, I'm just gonna call the stream over and we made some money on the 660 calls. If anything happens intraday, I'll post it in the SPX channel. But I'm worried here right now because we're rejecting on SPX at the same level that we've rejected from in the past, or sorry, the old support area. So we're rejecting there. That kind of puts me at a bit of a discomfort here, but we'll see. If it closes above 6,600 basically, I'd be interested. There it is. There's a rejection. I knew it. I knew that was coming too. Okay, so you might get something like this on SPX, go up, go down a little bit, then go up. And similarly on SPY, you might get something like this, double tap and then go up on 658.19. And I think NVIDIA calls look pretty good right now. If you want to get that, this is going to be funny. But if you want to get the 180 strike for tomorrow, just get it at this point in time. And hopefully that works out. You can use some of the profits, hopefully from the puts for this morning, from yesterday, and get those there. And I do think Apple calls are setting up nicely. I just want to wait to see what happens. If it clears above this or goes down here, then I'll be interested in getting calls. I don't want to chase it in between. And silver calls for tomorrow for 65 strike have a lot of open interest. If you want to take a small lotto, go for it. Okay, there's a bump in that 1 minute that I was saying before. So let's see what the SPY contracts are up. They should be up like, they're still up, only up 21%. That's not too bad. But if anyone's holding these calls, please just take the win. I can't stress it enough. I don't know what's going to happen. A lot of headline risk. We're up 30%. If I were you, I'd be looking at getting the hell out of this contract right about now. Cool. Well, we made some money. Nicely done for anyone who took George's swings. I GG'd myself on taking the Micron puts and these NVIDIA and AMD puts, and Timmy nicely done on the Boyle and UNG and USO calls. So I will see everyone for the end of day lotto. Take it easy.